is some good news out today. Positive signs of the Perth housing market. CoreLogic this morning reported that house values in Perth lifted by 0.6% through November. Now, I know there are plenty of reports coming out regularly, but it doesn't suggest that things are a little warmer, that with the summer comes a little bit more warmth in the market.
Well, there's a pulse, isn't there? And,
they're not dead, there's a pulse.
There's a pulse. But it was, down, their same numbers are saying minus 3.4% for the year. But the interesting thing, if you tie that back to building approvals and you look at basic economics, which is supply and demand, we've been trending down in the number of approvals now for 25 months. Now, people say that's a negative, and it is a negative in the building industry, but at the same time, what that says is the supply and the supply pipeline is slowly drying up as demand still ticks away with just a pulse. And so you can see that supply coming down, demand holding or just tracking along at or even falling at a lesser rate, and supply and demand coming back into balance again. And the interesting thing in the last month, I've spoken probably, I've done 8 or 10 talks in the last 3 or 4 weeks, and I've probably spoken to 1,000 people. So I kind of get the feeling of what people are asking, and it gives you a good indication. You'd see the same thing on the radio with what people are saying. And the interesting thing that people are saying now is, I can't see anything that's going to turn this market around. Can't see anything. Why would it turn around? What's going to turn it around? I go, well, I can probably give you 5 things. It could be all of them or none of them, but it will be something, because it will turn around. And so the interesting thing is that says that people see no hope. And because as soon as hope shows up in the market, we're past the bottom. And at the bottom of the market, you see no hope. Now, if we go back 3 or 4 or 5 months, remember all the phone calls coming in going, I'm going to sell this thing, and classic capitulation. And then we start to see, when's the bottom of the market? When's the bottom of the market? Which is sort of some pent-up demand waiting for that sign of the bottom of the market, but it is pent-up demand. Now we've got to the point where people are going, I can't see anything, it's going to turn it around. And all these reports, it's going to get a lot worse. And usually that says to me, it's ringing a bit of a bell from my perspective, and you're seeing the supply slowly drying up, and you're seeing demand just has a little pulse, and it shows up occasionally in a month here and there when there's a little bit of, something happens and values lift a little bit here and there or hold. People are seeing values and bargains. You never thought I could get into that area? Gee, I really like that place. And you start to get this sort of impulse. And then someone else said to me, look, the market today will be accepted as normal in 6 months' time. So then you start the transactions occurring. And then once you see the transactions starting to occur and people accepting of the market, that's the first sign of the bottom of the market.